welcome to Naked. I'm Nicole.
Keisha. And I'm Deanna.
And this is Naked. Back with another episode where we are still reading 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. So this will be the second review of chapters 4 through 6 today.
Because I couldn't get it together.
Well, we had to recount for both of y'all.
There you go.
1,
there you
2,
go.
3, and 4. 5 and 6. That's okay. What's up? What's up? What's everybody been up to?
Oh my goodness.
You got any more adventures of popcorn?
So I didn't get to go get popcorn today, so I don't have any adventures from Walmart. But yesterday, so I'm getting this kid graduated. So I've been spending all my time in malls and stores, getting her clothes, getting the rest of the girls' clothes. And yesterday was Nia's time to go find an outfit. So I kind of forgot this whole thing that I needed to do. And it was like 80-something degrees yesterday. And I put on some denim panties. I realized.
Whoa.
I mean, they were like
denim panties.
They were like short.
Look at that girl with the Daisy Dukes.
I
want you to.
Oh, so you had on shorts.
I had on shorts.
Okay.
But it didn't really look like denim panties. And I was like, I'm just not going to get out the car too many times. So we are trying to get Nia's temps. So going to the BMV, that already looks like a shit show. So I'm not really concerned. Let me just go in here, get her signed in, go sit in the car because they need me to pay.
So you went into the BMV with your denim panties on?
I did. Now I did have a shirt
I
tied
was
around
gonna
my
say,
waist.
that was
So the booty cheeks was not out. It was not out. So
I mean, they were, but no one could see them.
no one could see them.
Okay.
No one could see them. So anywho, so I go up there. Now, mind you, this is the second time me being at the BMV for this child because I do not actually have her social security card. Never got it. Have the printout, but I don't have the actual card. So I go up there, and they're like, you can bring us her transcript. So I'm like, perfect. I have her transcript. He cracks it open. He's like, it doesn't have what we need. I said, well, what is it that you need? He's like, it needs to say her social security number on there. And I said, okay, question. That would be a printout, right? Correct? Because this is a transcript on a piece of paper, not her actual social security card. Although I have the printout from the actual social security department that has her social on it, and all my paperwork that says that I am her baby. But you won't accept this, but you would accept a high school transcript that has it. So I'm pissed. I'm like, I got these denim panties on. Let me just get it back. So I leave, and I was like, we gotta go to Social Security because we gotta get this shit taken care of.
Yeah.
Go there. Fortunately, that wasn't too crazy of a situation. We get there, and I'm like, I bet we need to fill out some type of form or something. So I have Nia, because again, I won't be walking too much. So have her go get the paper. This buff ass security guard comes back, and he's like, you need to have this. And I'm like,
They be taking that shit so personal.
you
like,
don't even work here. Like, for real.
Like, my old thirsty ass, all I heard was buff. I'm like, tell me more.
I was annoyed.
was he real?
Like, when you say buff, like how buff? Like, how tall was he? Like,
I don't even know
Tell
because
me
I was
more.
angry.
And you had on denim pants.
And I have
And
denim
denim
panties
panties.
that I'm like, I don't want any additional attention because I really wasn't supposed to be out like this.
Continue on.
Anywho, I'm like, I got all my paperwork. Like, I got my shit together. So anyways, we finally get called back. She's like, oh, you just need the actual card. I'm like, yes. She's like, you have the social security number. Yes. And then she decides to give me a lecture about I need to have a lockbox, a fireproof lockbox. I said, ma'am, I have all of my documents in this folder right here.
Wait, who gave you a lecture about that?
The lady who was filling out Nia's social security, who was applying for the card for me.
Who apparently thought she was somebody's mama.
Your motherfucking business.
Please and thank you. Because I have my divorce papers, I have everyone's birth certificate, I have everyone's social except hers because I never got it.
Yeah.
This is why we're here. And I
Doesn't
don't care
matter.
about it
It
until
does
now
not
she's
matter.
16 and needs a job. And we can't get the job until she has the social security.
Because the fact that I don't have the social security card is the reason why your ass has a job for me to come here to get these services. So again, mind your Fucking
2 plus 2
fucking
having.
motherfucking business. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So that y'all, that's the people.
Yeah. I mean, she was really like, and you just need to get a fireproof lockbox. And I'm like, I have all my documents.
People be trying you. Do you give us some vibe like they? I'm gonna try her yellow ass today.
She in here with these denim panties.
With these denim pants on,
Because I had these denim panties on.
ain't got no Social Security card for her baby.
And I'm like, but
She said, this baby needs some guidance. Let me just step over in here and help her.
Bet she ain't even feed her today. Probably ain't washed her ass. Look like she ain't washed her ass with them goddamn denim panties on.
she wanted to wear my denim panties.
Coming out in public looking like
I felt so like
So just
some
know.
woman of the night.
Okay.
some woman of that.
Just know that woman went home and she talked about
She
you.
did.
Talked about
She
you.
did.
Talked
And
about
just and
you.
to know that I really did not want to be out in society. Like I thought this was gonna be like some quick shit.
Yeah, quick run.
Yeah. So then we go to Target. For all this quick
You
shit.
was out
I'm thinking-
everywhere.
I'm thinking
You
I
was out everywhere.
She talking about supposed to be a quick run. I'm like, well, we done went to three. This is the third
The
stop so far.
And it's just like legit the BMC, the Social Security Administration.
And
That's
Target. You know
That's gonna
everybody
be like,
knows
I met up with the governor, in my denim panties, But I was only supposed to be out just for a quick
I
second.
wasn't, but I was like, shit, I'm out. And I was like, this shit has to get done. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was like, you go in, find your outfit, let me know, come in and swipe the card, then
Right.
get back out. Like, I come in there, she done picked out some denim type outfits, and I'm like, what example am I setting?
Only mama can wear these things.
Yes, only I can wear these. I was like, that's gonna be a no.
I've earned my right.
Yeah, because I'm a grown ass woman with grown ass kids. Literally, I have grown ass kids.
You do.
Literally, I have an 18-year-old about to be 16. I got grown ass. Anyways, so I don't approve any of her outfits, and so I'm like, why don't you just go over to Old Navy because we in Pickerington.
Wait a minute, but y'all was in Target? Like, I feel like Target only offers wholesome outfits, don't they? Like,
It was like
cheap stuff in there.
she picked out this jean skirt with this jean jacket, and I was like, to go to graduation, and I'm like, no.
Gotcha.
Find something else. Like,
Was
find
the
a
jean skirt
romper.
real short?
It was.
Oh, okay.
It was short, and it just, I was like, for graduation. Now, if it was like, I just want this for whatever, maybe. But this is for graduation, so
Yeah.
you cannot wear that. She don't want to go to Old Navy. They want to go to Marshall's. Mind you, I didn't go to none of them stores. I was back in the car. So now we're done. Drop them off. And then, but I was like, I had to go to the hair store. So I was like, this can be a quick run. I can run in here, grab this Eco Styler, and 2 other things, which they didn't have, come out. And I was like, oh, let me run into Family Dollar real quick, which is right beside it. So these are all quick runs. Like, no one's going to see me. I come out.
You know that's where people see.
Nobody saw me. No one I knew that I know saw me. But I'm walking to the car, and this chick was like, it ain't that hot outside. I'm like,
No, she did. Again, people be trying
you.
I just had to laugh. I was just like, I know I got denim panties on, I know. But it's 85 degrees, and I think it is that.
I was gonna say if it was ever gonna be this hot, I mean that was the day. It was 85 degrees.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know you, I probably would have been thinking it too. Like, she tripping.
But to say it out loud and loud enough for this one to hear it,
I said
she
I've
bold.
been thinking it.
She is bold.
I was just looking like, but you got a bonnet on
Mm.
and slippers
in public.
in public. All I could do was
I'm
laugh.
gonna let you live.
I'd
I'm
have
gonna say it
probably-
to myself.
I was just looking like, I just started laughing.
Good brag.
You should have undid the thing like jealous.
My ass is out. It is out. I'm just covering it for the babies.
You should have let her see it.
For the
Jealous.
baby.
For the babies.
Ooh, people got balls.
Yeah, so that was my yesterday.
That is hilarious.
Well, good luck to you and your denim panties.
Won't be wearing those anymore.
Okay.
Unless I'm at Zambezi Bay or somebody's beach or. I'm not wearing the denim panties no more. I couldn't wait to go home and peel those off.
She said, "Peel them off." She said pull them
Like,
They
off.
was legit some
I'm retiring.
She had to pull them off. They came off
Right.
inside out and shit.
It
Like,
completely inside out. She pulled the top off first.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
no
God.
more denim panties.
Oh my God.
I'll be wearing those.
oh, that's hilarious.
Did you check was your insides alright? Like inside of your thighs and up, didn't cause no irritation? Cause
I'm okay.
we know what your undergarments are. So
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm okay.
make sure you ain't got no chafing.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
But it's the reason that we got a skirt on today, so we're letting everything
Breathe.
because
That's why I
denim panties were no bueno.
had to breathe today.
I had to breathe.
What's been up with you?
I have not been rocking denim panties. I don't own any denim panties. I did
They
see
didn't start off with denim panties.
They grew into denim panties.
They're now denim panties.
Oh my sweet baby Jesus.
They purchased them like that.
Oh my God. No, I haven't really been up to anything. I was out shopping all day earlier at the Easton. I know, with two of my oldest godsons who have the taste of grown ass men.
Clearly.
First off, their feet are huge.
Yes.
Their shoes are bigger than mine now.
The one is a teenager, isn't he?
They are 11 and 12.
Oh yeah, he already be. Yeah.
They wear the same size shoes as me. Like, and bigger, and was picking up all this designer stuff, and I was like, put all the designer stuff right on the back. Put it all back.
So wait a minute, was it their birthday?
So, okay, so one of their birthdays was in April. One of their birthdays was earlier this month. So, like, I went to both of their parties, but I still wanted to, like, do something with the two of them together. Especially because they're the two oldest, and they have two little brothers. One's, like, a baby, and then the other one's, like, 4. So, these, like...
They lost their shine.
Yeah,
They
like
didn't shine
the
more.
babies are their mom's baby, but like
Yeah.
these two are like my babies.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to like take them to go do something. And it kind of was piggybacking off of one of their birthdays, but it was like, well, if we do something for your birthday, then we'll do something
We
for
gotta do-
yours.
yeah.
Yeah, so we just kind of made it like a day, like did shopping, did some lunch. They are a hot mess. Like pure shenanigans all day. The two of them can probably like start Comic View back up because they got jokes for days.
Yes.
And they are ruthless, and like I can just see so much of like their mom and her dad in them.
Yes.
So like there was this lady who like she was so rude. There was this lady who like scooted in between all three of us, didn't say excuse me or
Wait a minute,
anything.
how you scooting between 3 people?
Exactly. And the boys are almost my height. And before I could even check her, the younger one,
Yes. Yes.
the younger one was, I mean, D, for real? Is she serious? And I couldn't even say anything because, I mean, I was about to say the same thing. Like, normally I'd be like, respect your elders, blah, blah, blah. But the woman was disrespectful.
Yeah.
So I was right there with him. Like, you feel me? Like,
Did
you
she
you
turn-
hopped on there.
Did she
did.
turn around and say
no. The lady just kept it moving. She kept it moving.
Again, how do you squeeze in between 3
It was
people?
the
Like,
most ridiculous stuff
I
I've
feel
ever
like it
seen.
was
so rude?
It was on
extreme-
purpose.
It definitely was on purpose.
Yeah.
It definitely was on purpose.
You don't accidentally
And-
squeeze between
No.
3 people.
She was so far ahead, like she did it real fast. Like she was like moving real quick. It wasn't even a chance for me to even be able to like say anything to her. But his response was so on point, and it was exactly what I would have said.
It
To where
sounds like something you would have said.
all I could do was chime in, like, you feel me? Like, what's wrong
You
with
feel
him?
me? You feel me?
I know you see it. I know you see. I saw it. So we had like a whole little situation. Clearly I do not discipline kids like at all. I just chime in. I laugh at stuff when it's funny.
Yes,
like,
we know.
it is what it is.
Yes, we know.
So we kicked it all afternoon. I say all
Yes.
that to say we kicked it all afternoon. Chilled.
I've definitely had to side ID when Ishmael got in trouble before because she's giggling for some stupid stuff he did.
In my defense,
Oh, I'm gonna pay her back.
in my
I'm gonna
defense,
pay her back.
he's funny.
I'm going
And he
to
wasn't
pay her
wrong in what he said. I mean, furthermore,
He was disrespectful to a guest in the house.
so first off, that guest was a child, so I feel like it's okay.
Not my child, someone else's child.
Furthermore, he was over them. He wanted them to leave. So it's time for you to go. You can no longer play with any of my stuff. We're going to go ahead and cut this game off. We're going to turn these lights out.
Not
And-
lights out.
Yes, he did.
You just going to sit here until your mammy comes to get you because we are done here.
And came out and told us that he did it. Like, he needs to go. I turned the game off and cut the lights out. And he's just sitting in there in the dark.
I mean,
Listen,
the lights
He turned the game off and cut the lights out and left the room and left the little boy in there in the dark.
he said he was done. I mean, I feel like that's all.
Here we go. Here we go. This one.
That's rude.
Here.
Oh my god.
And I'm looking at her like, are you serious? Like, I'm trying to be serious in this
Right,
moment.
right,
like, it's a very
right,
teachable
right.
moment,
Yes.
and you are fucking it up for
And
me.
how old is Ish at this point?
7?
7 or 8.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a firm believer that children should be able to make independent decisions, okay? They should not be forced
Yeah,
to
but
do
that was rude.
It was rude.
Like lights out too.
And
Like
then
the game, I get that. But
No, because
You
when we
turned the
got
lights
down to it,
oh, he was winning.
no, the little boy didn't want to play the same game that Ishmael wanted to, so he like, well, cool, we in my space, so if you don't want to play it, then
You gotta go home.
to the left, to the left.
Listen, I'm an only
You
child. I'm in
can't
full
do that.
support of this. I'm in full support of it.
And
I said what I said.
So this is when I was single, like, you know. Which is why I'm like, I kind of get it because he's not around like
Right.
a lot of kids, but you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Oh, you came to my house to play with my stuff. You no longer want to play with my stuff.
But the lights out.
It's time for you to go. He didn't.
The lights out.
We did not force him to remain in that room sitting in the dark. Young man had 2 legs. He could have easily followed Ishmael and came out to the living room where there is light. Bless his heart. He don't want to stay in the dark. Now, who the slow one out of this? That's all I'm going to say.
What was I forget what happened. An adult said something, and Ishmael said, "No ticket, no seat." Like they said they didn't have something or something. He said, "No ticket, no skate." The crack. I've never heard her laugh that loud. I looked at her. She said, "Well, shit, that's your son. Doesn't sound just like you." I
And
was
she
like,
says it all the time. She
You know.
says it all the
I
time.
couldn't even yell it for them. I was like, "You did get that shit from me. I just need to stop playing." So, all right, I gotta be careful. Stop playing playing with people around him because he sure got that. I couldn't even say nothing to
That
that.
is.
Listen,
No ticket, no skate.
I ain't
was like,
shit when
"You
it comes to
little."
disciplining kids. Unless they do something like totally disrespectful to an adult. Now that's a
Oh,
whole
just
nother,
wait till it's
it's a whole
your
nother
stuff.
story. It's a whole nother story.
No,
Like y'all laughed at Nia's talking about the lady in her weave, and I'm like, this is not how we talk to adults.
Well, she didn't say it to her.
Mm-mm.
She said it in the air.
The adult did not hear.
Nia said it at that school.
She didn't say it to her though.
The adult
She
did not
probably
hear.
heard it, though.
She said
And
in the
it was
air.
not a lie.
And the volleyball coach, she had it coming. So
That volleyball coach thing, that's what made me like realize like this one, you got a winner right there.
She's gotten all of her coaches, and I'm just like, Nia, we cannot talk to people like this.
but she's a sweetheart in the same damn breath. So
That's
it's hard
where
to-
it's like
And she's very matter of fact with what she's
she's
saying.
very matter of
Yeah.
fact. And it's like she don't be wrong, but I'd be like, but you just all right.
I love it.
I'm calling Dewan.
I mean, yeah, you can't be mad when somebody's telling the truth, and she was definitely telling the truth in both instances. So
Anywho,
Yeah. So what have you been up to?
yes.
Nothing. Like literally, a lot, but nothing at the same time.
That's the way it
Any
is. That's the way it
sense,
is. To any busy adult, they like, yeah.
I've been doing a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm finally starting to miss basketball.
Okay.
Aw. Kind of ready to get back in it a little bit.
And I realized why your back locked up.
Why?
Because after we talk, like you've only been sitting, and then you start getting up, walking around on the basketball court, and doing all this stuff. Your back is like,
What's this?
What's this? What's this? And that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
But when I tell you she came and worked it out, though,
I believe it. I believe it.
worked it out.
Yeah.
And it's still been trying to like tighten up on me. So for a few days, I felt like I was having spasms like in my butt cheek, like in the on the left side, like up under there, but in there. Like that's where the spasms were happening. Just little ones, so I could still like move and stuff. It wasn't bad. But whenever I felt it like starting to tighten up, I did what you said and did the twist on my feet again. Eases right back up. I'm like, if you are gonna tell me that all this damn time,
But I think
this was the cure.
well, that wasn't the cure.
Not the cure, but I'm like, it's instant relief.
Yes.
Like, instant relief.
But I think it's more you need to be up walking around.
Yeah.
Instead of like you go from 0 to 100 nigga real quick, and it's like
My
Your
back
body's
is like,
like, no.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pineapples.
didn't sign up for this
And
today.
then you gotta ease
Yeah.
me in there.
Yes.
But
So I have been trying to get up a little more at work as much as I can. Get up, just stand up. I've been standing up and doing my hips back and forth.
Did you ask for a standing desk?
I did. She'll think about it.
Well, whoa.
That's not a no.
It's not enough. She thinks about everything. So.
It's still not a no.
I think every job should now have a standing desk.
Why not? Why not? Because it's
yeah, at
healthy.
the BMV where she talked down to me and told me I had
You need
not
a
the
lockbox.
BMV, the Social Security office. She had one.
Yeah, we have them in our new office. I had them in my old job. But my old job, we also had treadmills that were attached to the desk. Yeah,
But they could also wear workout gear to work.
that is a true statement.
Because I don't want to work out in jeans or a button-up shirt.
Well, the treadmill, when I, there was a limit on how fast it would go. So it was never like a true workout. It's just enough to get you.
Because I'm like, how can you type and do that at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, even if I'm stepping like slowly though, like after about 10 minutes, I might break a sweat.
I mean, it only goes to maybe like 1.2 or
That's
something
enough to
like
break a
that.
sweat if you go for 20 minutes.
I don't know. Like, it wasn't.
Well, maybe not in y'all's building because as cold as you said it wasn't there. You
That
might
is
break
that
a sweat.
okay. But it definitely wasn't like this workout,
Yeah.
if you will. It just really kind of just allowed you to kind of get the blood flowing. You know, it's not something that you would do from 8 a.m. to 5 when you got there.
Yeah.
But it just got you up and moving because sitting at a desk is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is why I don't understand that needs to be connected to the wellness week. That why wouldn't you just give everyone standing desks?
Yeah.
it costs money.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I do
Helps
want to do
insurance
hot
out.
yoga. See if anybody's interested.
No.
I'm not. I
I'm
don't
going to
like.
a class.
I don't like regular yoga. So I definitely
I
am
don't
not.
want the hot. The way they said it, it gets up to 100 and something.
Yeah.
And I love heat, but no thank you.
So you don't like saunas?
I love saunas.
I've never been in a sauna actually.
Oh, I love saunas.
I literally go to the sauna almost every day.
All I'm thinking about is his hair and how. I don't
Well, the
think that
sauna
would-
doesn't do that because it's dry heat.
Okay.
There's no moisture.
Yeah.
You will sweat though. So I make sure my hair is like in a ponytail. But it's dry heat.
I
Now,
went in.
steam room,
It's a
I
whole
have to,
different
like,
story.
put on a shower cap and like, tie that around to like not let anything in. But I still like the steam room too.
I will not be doing hot yoga. That's going to be.
I'm gonna try it. I'm not a fan of yoga.
I said, let us know how it goes.
Okay, I'm not a fan of yoga, but I think hot yoga, get some good stretching in, and I think
There's
it'll help with my
four
back. I have to
yogas,
find
too.
some kind of
Yeah.
workout that I can do consistently without being strenuous. Right now, I cannot do strength and conditioning type training.
You could probably do Pilates.
What if you just walk?
You definitely could do Pilates.
But even walking, like I threw my back out in poles.
And
I need very like
slow.
movements,
yeah.
more stretching.
You need Pilates. You need
Yeah.
Pilates. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to come to the studio and see the different reformers.
What's the difference between Pilates and yoga? Because I feel like it's
Not
very
sure.
similar, like
So-
movements.
Pilates, there's machines. like there's like a reformer machine that you can use to help you stretch out,
Mhm.
and it's a core workout too.
Oh, I've done Pilates and there was not a machine
So
involved.
there is Pilates on a mat,
Yeah.
but then there's Pilates that includes like a reformer
Oh, okay.
and machines. And the Pilates that they do at my studio, they got a whole bunch of different machines. Like they actually have one where you stand on it and it vibrates.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And for that would be probably.
And it has like the handles on it,
Yeah.
and then it kind of like rocks side to
Yeah.
side. Yeah, I just used one of those. The vibrating is intense, and it only goes in like
It's
30
very
second like
intense.
spurts or something like
Yeah.
that. But it's intense.
Yeah, I gotta find a workout. Like, I'll do 15 minutes on the elliptical just because it's like it's not as bad as like walking on the like regular street or sidewalk or nothing like, or even the treadmill. I feel like it's a little easier on my joints or whatever. But I need something more. Like I can't just do 15 minutes of that every day and expect to.
No, I get it.
That's
Yeah,
funny
big
that you said that
change.
the elliptical is easier because I like for me, I can't do long periods of time on an elliptical.
Oh, I
Like,
could be on there
I hate the elliptical.
for an hour easily.
I can walk on a treadmill for an hour, but an elliptical, I feel like I don't know if it's my posture or what, but I feel like it wears on one side of my body more so than the other,
Really?
and I feel it like on my hip and my knee on the same side.
That's how I feel about the treadmill.
That's so crazy.
The
That's
elliptical, I feel like
weird.
helps, like
Yeah.
the machine helps my body go into motion.
So, like,
my body
disperse
doesn't have
it.
to work
So wait a
as
minute, can you
hard.
do the bike? Like how's the bike?
So
feel?
I can do a bike, I just don't like bikes.
Okay.
But like an elliptical causes like an uncomfortableness that's not associated with me being like tired. Like I feel like I'm doing something wrong, like to my body. Like when I'm on it, I feel like one side of my body is definitely doing more than the other side, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
this is uncomfortable.
I think I'm gonna go to a chiropractor too before
Oh,
I start all of this
absolutely.
and get everything
Yeah.
adjusted.
Yes.
So there's
yes.
one on McNaughton that's amazing,
Mhm.
and they also have massages there too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
Need
they're
the
good.
name.
Yeah.
I need the name of
They're-
that.
yeah.
We're done.
yeah, I'll get it to you.
Essential.
Essential Health and
Yes,
Wellness if I'm not
just
mistaken.
drove past there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
the only
had-
place that I get massages from.
And I had a massage from there too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna call them on Tuesday and set something up to
Yeah.
do the adjustment and
Mhm.
massage and then get into all this. So
Yeah.
I just feel like the hot yoga will help for one, the stretching that yoga gives you, and then the heat.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
We'll
Let me
see.
know how you like it. I'm just not a fan of yoga. Like,
I do not like yoga. Like when I was doing, I used to do the what's the 90-minute videos? It's a whole video set.
oh, the with all the different CDs and
Yeah.
the
P90X.
ads. There you go.
They
Yeah.
had, oh.
Yeah,
And
one
there's
of
a
her
whole disc
one
of
of her
yoga.
tracks was
So
yoga.
like once or twice out of the week you do yoga. I always skipped it and did core instead.
Yeah.
Like hated yoga because every time I started, I'd be like, why am I sitting like
This
this?
is pointless.
Why am I bending like this?
I feel like I'm too fat for yoga. I feel like my hands are not built for my body,
You gotta get the yoga box.
and I feel like
I just didn't like it because I didn't feel like it was doing anything. So I'm definitely the type of person to work out. Like if I'm not breathing hard, sweating, then
it's
I
not
didn't
work
do
out.
enough. Like
Yeah.
I don't like to talk. I don't like I just like to focus on the work. What the fuck was that just fell outside?
Oh,
You see it?
no.
Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry. It just something.
Peripheral.
Sorry.
Scared the shit out of me.
But yeah, I'm one of those like go hard, go home type,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
now I can't do it. My back is like no.
and I'm just like, no, I'm not about to sit here for a full minute burning calluses into my palms because they're stinging. So onward and upward.
Yeah, and I'm sure my back will improve once I drop a little bit of weight. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. So into the chapters 4 through 6 of the book. Chapter 4, give us the title.
Chapter 4, they do not focus on things that they can't control.
Okay, so again, we are discussing a book titled 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. This is review of chapters 4 through 6. So chapter 4.
You want to start? Or?
Sure. So one of the things that she said that really kind of struck a nerve with me in this one was that rather than focusing on managing your anxiety, you try to control like your environment, and shifting your focus off of things that you can't control. that can ultimately increase happiness. It provides less stress. It helps with better relationships. Like, that just really kind of hit a nerve, because so often we look at issues, we look at problems, and we're trying to fix all of these outside things
Well,
that
how we see it should be fixed.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you think about it, even when you say it out loud, it's like, that's just dumb.
It's,
Like,
it's not dumb. It's insane. Yeah, it's impossible.
like, it's just dumb. And it's like, why wouldn't you only focus on
Yeah.
the things that you can actually control? So
Yeah.
like, I've really been trying to like shift my mindset, even before reading this book, to really kind of living a life where I focus on me, my actions, what I can do. You can't convince other people to do and behave the way that you want them to.
Yes.
And me and one of my friends from college were kind of talking about this a while ago, because she gets so upset when like her friends don't essentially act in the same way that she does in regard to like her friendship. You know, she expects people to go above and beyond. She expects people to
Reciprocate the same thing.
exactly. And when it doesn't happen, it throws her all out of whack. And I'm like, hey, like, you can't get mad that people deal with relationships in a different manner.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can't force them to change. All you can do is accept it or decide if you want to accept it.
Right.
And you can either alter how you react and respond or how you treat people, but you can't fix people.
Yeah.
And I think that we have a really bad habit of trying to fix people based off of this perception of them being broken, when ultimately it's not necessarily them being broken. It's just, we don't really care for the way that you are. So,
I struggle with this so much.
Yeah.
Like, in everything. And it's funny, the other day when another shopping excursion, I didn't have the denim panties on, but we were at DFW.
my favorite store right now.
And I came out, and there is this chick right at the door. Like,
Mm,
at the door.
irritating.
Smoking.
Irritating.
So you gotta
Like,
walk
as
through
soon
it.
as
You gotta
I,
walk
like,
through a
I
cloud of
almost,
smoke.
I was coming out, and she was outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, why would you? And then I'm like, I have to think, like, people are just not aware of they're not self-aware. Because it's like,
And
anyone.
She probably just didn't give a shit. Like,
No, she doesn't.
I'm not taking 5 steps to the right because I don't have to. And
Or she was walking in and still smoking and
And
didn't
stop,
want to put it
yeah.
out, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, and I was so angry. And I'm like, why?
that's a common courtesy. Like,
It really is.
And that's why I'm just like, I don't understand why people don't.
And I'm just like, you smoke these cigarettes, so you know that this shit stinks.
You know it stinks.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you that.
No.
But then they get offended, like, whoa, whoa, when I'm holding my nose and I'm coughing because I don't want secondhand smell.
You
That
better than me,
reminds me.
because I will tell somebody in a heartbeat, oh, my hair is gonna stink. Like, because that shit is irritating. That
It
shit,
is.
like, if
Now I gotta go home and wash my hair and shit I wasn't expecting to
Yes.
because you want to smoke.
because if you wake up the next morning and your pillow smells like cigarette smoke and you're not a smoker, barf.
It's the worst smell ever.
Barf.
For those that do not smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. That just
Yeah,
reminded
I
me.
definitely struggle with that.
We went to see John Wick last weekend.
Was it good?
It's good. It's so much fighting. I mean, they fight from start to finish. And
Okay.
it's like gruesome
Oh,
fighting at that.
no thanks.
Very little dialogue.
Hmm.
My favorite 20-30 minutes of the movie, I ain't gonna say 20 minutes of the movie was Halle Berry coming and going. She had about 20 minutes in there, and that was my favorite 20
That's
minutes
it?
of the movie. But it was dope. Like
The part
the
that
part
she
of the
did
movie that she's in was dope.
Okay.
But anyway, so we get to the theater, and it's this white couple sitting in our seats. And so they see us coming up, right? And my friend had printed out or looking on her phone, like our seats are, and she was like, all right, 1, 2, and they're sitting in these two. So her and her boyfriend sit in that seat, and me and TJ are coming to sit. They're still sitting there. I said, you're in the wrong seats. Those are our seats. She goes, okay, you don't have to be rude about it. I want to be like, get your sensitive ass up out my seat and move. Like, you see us coming up the steps. You see her looking. You see her stop at these seats.
Right.
Get your ass up. You knew you was in the wrong
First
seat
of
when you
all,
sat
my
down.
thing is like, we've been doing these movie theaters now that you should know where your seat is. Like the people that are still confused by their seats is
Your sensitive ass.
Get up.
Because all I said
Get
was, because one, I was irritated, and it may have come out like that because I'm like, you see us looking at the seats and you
Right.
know you're in the wrong seats. You could have been like, are these y'all seats? We were trying to switch our seats. We didn't get good seats just in case nobody showed up.
Right.
No problem. I'd be
Right.
like, that's cool. Cool. We're standing there and you're still sitting there like you're in the right seat. Get your ass up.
Get out.
What did she say to you?
You don't have to be rude about it. And seriously, all I said was, hey,
You're rude by being in my seat.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, you're rude for even sitting there and you see us standing here. Get your ass up.
Oh my god.
The entitlement.
The
You
entire
have to be rude about it. And literally, this is how I said it. Oh, you guys are in the wrong seats.
So
This is exactly how I said it.
so she's gonna play the victim now, and it's angry black woman
because you can't
who's
read.
attacking me because y'all are in the wrong damn
Because you
seats.
clearly can't read.
They
or
moved to
whatever.
They
you're-
moved to another set of seats, and 10 minutes later, somebody else comes and tells, "Get out of my seat." They got to move again. Why? Find your seat. Mind you, with the row that they were
I would have
in,
called security. I'd have been like, "Excuse me,"
I think that these two people
don't have tickets.
do not have tickets.
So the
and I feel unsafe because you know the world we live in is crazy. And
she
people
was really
don't-
aggressive
like
when I asked her to get out of
I
my
would have
seat.
called security.
The seats they ended up settling in were in the very next row in front of us. Same seats, the row ahead of us. When they moved out of our seats, they sat at the seats on the end of that row. So all you had to do was walk down 3 more seats to your real seats.
If those were even a real
If there
seats.
were,
If
because
those
those people
were.
could have just not showed up or whatever.
Mm.
But anyway,
Mm.
all right. So back to the book title.
But
Yeah,
that lights all of my ass hairs.
All of them.
Of them. Oh.
because I had a thing like you when she said like you don't have to be rude. I was like,
Yes.
rude.
Grasp.
I
the
wanted
girl.
because here's the thing. I wanted to be rude.
Right.
You're lucky that you got this filtered version of what I was
Right.
planning on
Because
telling
while
you.
I'm standing here looking at you, you gonna pretend like I'm not standing here like I'm made out of glass.
Right.
Mm.
You know you're in the wrong seat, and then I have to tell you you're in the wrong seat.
I
I was like, I should have just went with my first response. Get your sensitive ass up
Nah,
out
I
my
should-
seat.
I'd be like, oh, rude. Security.
I would have called the police. Look here.
Security.
Look here.
Yeah,
all,
I feel threatened.
all 2019, tattletelling. Like,
Tattletelling.
I feel unsafe.
I go and say,
I'm feeling threatened. Sarah stared at me too long.
Too long.
I'm feeling
Too long.
threatened.
feeling
Pick
threatened.
me a death.
I'm uncomfortable. Harassment.
Mm.
All of it.
But anyway, all right, back to this title. So,
So the client that she featured for this chapter was James, who was dealing with a custody battle with his ex-wife. And basically his ex-wife was basically letting their child run amok from the example. Like, she gets to stay up late, eat all the ice cream. When she comes to his house, it's rules, and the child doesn't like it. So it's like the mom is like pinning the daughter against him. And that is a hard situation when you want the best for your child. And I think at one point, did she get like a restraining order or something?
she
against
did
Yeah.
because he started wilding though.
Yeah.
loves
James
it.
was upset.
James was
okay?
upset.
He was upset.
James low-key threw a temper tantrum.
He
He
did.
absolutely threw a temper tantrum.
He did. He did because the wife started dating, or the ex-wife starts dating someone else, and he tried to.
He lied and said he saw him out with another woman trying to break him up.
Yes. And
Petty.
Patty.
She must have fell for it, so it must have ended up being like an argument. Like, well, James saw you. And he's like, bitch.
Go back
You
and
hear
listen to
what
what
you
she
did.
said.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Mm,
Replay.
mm.
But James started wild and she ended up having to ask for a restraining order.
Yes.
So
And they were going back and forth to court. He's wasting more money and not getting to see his child. And so he realized from counseling that
can't control.
he can't control what
And you
goes on.
cannot. Like
That's right.
when you
Yes.
split up,
Yes.
I can no longer say what happens in that man's house over there.
Yes.
His rules are his rules, my
Yes.
rules are my rules.
Yes.
I mean, we can talk about a few things that we have in common that we want for our child, but
Yes.
your house is your house and my house is my
Yes,
house. And the day you come over here trying to tell me something, it's going to be a problem.
Exactly.
And that's for anybody.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, we ain't going to get along from that point.
No.
Worry about your house.
Worry about your
Worry about
house.
my house.
Exactly. Exactly.
But even in your own house, you can't control everything.
No.
In your own house.
No.
Even in like a marriage, you can't control your spouse. Like, I think people have a misconception of marriage is like, now you belong to me, and there's just certain things you can no longer do
Yes.
because you were married to me.
I had that in just a relationship.
Yeah. Well, in relationship, marriage, whatever, people think that making a commitment means I now own you or I
Yes.
control you. And that's just not the case. That's the quickest way to actually lose someone.
Absolutely.
Because you still have to allow people room to just be themselves.
To be themselves and to grow.
Yeah.
Like,
And the day they cannot do that, like, trouble starts immediately. That's
Immediately.
yeah. That actually kind of segues into the next chapter, which was talking about
They don't worry about pleasing everyone.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Which I feel like I struggled with that when I was younger, just because, and I think it had to do with a few different things. I think predominantly because I was an only child, so I've always like gravitated to, I want to make friends. And when I was younger, that consisted of me conceding a lot in stuff that I wanted to do because like I wanted to be around people.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm older, I'm like, fuck you.
Yes.
You set people.
Yes.
This is what I want to do.
Yes.
You can either join or not.
Yes.
I don't really care what you want to do. And I know that sounds bad, like saying it out loud. But like it took me a while to like get to this point.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I
think people try to spin that negatively. Like you're like, fuck everybody. I don't care if it hurts you because it's about me. And that's not what that means. It's just that what I want to do and how I want to live is going to come first. If you want to be a part of that, you are more than welcome. I am more than welcoming, or arms wide open for that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to come in here and dictate and try to change the things that I actually want to do just to make you comfortable.
Exactly. And I think that I had like a misconception, like a state of confusion kind of about me wanting to please people and not wanting to be labeled as selfish. Like I felt like I didn't really understand how to manage both of those like as two separate things. I almost kind of felt like they were mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
And as I got older, like I was like, I got this.
That's what I do for you.
I got this. Hold my shit real quick.
Well,
I'm stepping to the arena.
I feel like I remember this. I feel like I remember the night you had this revelation.
Yeah.
Around a certain January one year.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. My birthday was a disaster, and I was just like,
I'm done with this.
you know
shit.
what? You know what?
I remember that phone call.
I was a whole grown up. Like
we're talking like 4 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine just recently happened.
Yeah.
So, and mine's similar. Not that I was the only child, but I'm 8 years older than my sister. And then with everything that happened with like my mother, my father, and then like moving here, I kind of was the same way where it was like I just have to whatever you say, even if like I completely hated the idea, and I've grown up like being in a lot of relationships, friendships and relationships that I didn't really want to be in, and I was just like, no more.
Yep.
No, I'm going to sit at home
And
I'm going to watch my YouTube.
so the crazy thing is, let me ask you this. So like, since you've had that shift, like, has anybody even noticed? Like, in your mind, you thought that it would be like this huge, like, negative, like, ordeal.
Yeah.
Was it?
I don't think so.
It was not.
No.
Like, in my mind,
It was in your mind.
it was in my
Yes.
mind. Like, I totally thought, like, okay, if I, like, put my foot down, that, like, people are
Everyone's
going to think I'm, like,
she's
she's a bitch, she's so mean,
Yes.
like, she's so selfish.
yes.
And it changed absolutely nothing
Yeah.
except for my, like, mindset.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it affected.
Yep.
Which was crazy to me. Yeah.
This goes back to when we were talking about in the last podcast. We were talking about saying no.
Mm-hmm.
How it's more of a big deal to you saying no than the
Yes.
actual person
Yeah.
who's saying it to.
Yes.
And then how we said most people would just respect it more if you just flat out said no instead of
Yeah,
making
for
excuses.
sure.
Like just say no. It's
For
okay to
sure.
say no.
Yep.
And then chapter 6 was
they don't fear taking calculated risk. And so, my bad, guys.
I gotta work on that one.
So I read ahead, and so I was talking last podcast about this portion of the book because one, I don't know my numbers, and then two, I was reading ahead. But this is where we were talking about the guy who was the teacher and he didn't like his job, but then after counseling, he did take a small risk. And he actually learned that he liked his job.
Gotcha.
From a different angle. So, sorry guys, I read ahead.
But I mean, that just goes to show, like, just because you go out and take a risk, you may take some losses, but you can always come back to the things that you actually love. Like, nothing's ever, put a period on it until you die. I mean, that's the final period. But things can always change. Things can always leave and come back. You can always leave and come back. I always, which I try to follow as much as I can with myself, but like, when people are talking to me about issues or whatever, I always say, at the end of the day, if it's in God's plan, it's going to happen.
Right.
And if it's not in His plan, it ain't going to happen. Like, regardless of what you say, regardless of what you do, like, if it's meant to be, it's going to be. If it's not meant to be, it's not going to be, regardless.
Right.
So just don't try to stress so much. I know that's super hard to do when you really want something to happen or really don't want something to happen.
Right.
Like, I get it. But at the end of the day, we really don't have control like that. I hate to say that we don't have control because you definitely have control as far as the decisions that you make will shape whichever way certain situations go. But like certain relationships, like if they're just not meant to be, they're not meant to be. If this job is not meant for you to be there, it's not meant for you. It's not gonna happen. So figure out the next step, take that L, keep on stepping.
And the chapter also talks about just fear, just general fears, like people's fear of flying. And fear of like Friday the 13th and how there's been research done that people won't travel on Friday the 13th and won't do certain things.
I was born on Friday the 13th.
Were you?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's wrong with you.
So it's just, we have to learn to grow and get out of our comfortable and what we're familiar with in whatever situation, like in social settings and like not wanting to, because I know right now I have this fear, like even reaching out to people on Instagram for my business, it's like, people are like, this is stupid. But it's like, what if they think it's stupid? Like,
So what if they think it's stupid?
Who cares what
Who
they think?
cares?
Yeah.
And what if they don't think it's stupid?
Yeah.
It's like, I just gotta put it out there. So
To that point, one of the things it was saying to better analyze risk, like ask yourself like these questions. And one of those questions was, how much will this decision matter in 5 years?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a good one because we
That's
get
a great one.
we get so caught up in, oh, well, what's it gonna do like tomorrow or right now? Is this shit really gonna impact me like in the future? Because if not, then ball out. Like, do what you're gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, that's a good one.
And life being so short, like we are really here like for a blink.
Absolutely.
In
That part.
in the term of life itself.
Yeah.
Like
Really
it's so short.
It is.
Why not do everything that you want to
Yes,
do? Like
that's
at
right.
least make the attempt.
YOLO.
Yes.
Yeah, for
YOLO.
real.
Yes.
For real.
Yep.
And it took me to be like in my 30s to start realizing that like we were saying, like you're so worried about other people's thought or because people say that you're supposed to do certain things by a certain age or you're too old to be doing this or you're not young enough to understand that or or you're too young to understand that. Just all these societal things that people say you're supposed to do or not supposed to do. And I think it hinders a lot of people from doing things that they actually want to do. It holds you back. So now my 30s, I'm just like, fuck it. Like, if I do it and it don't work, then it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Move on to the next thing. Well, I'll be saying, like, it can't get any worse. Yes, it can. It can get worse. But
the universe be like, oh,
let me show you. Let me show you. Bonk. Well, damn. Wasn't expecting that. Wasn't calculating that one. It wasn't supposed to go like that. But yeah, I need to stay in that mindset. Like, things always seem to have a way to work out, though. Like, I think back throughout my life, like, when terrible things happen, like, I always ended up coming out on the other side at some point, not immediately, but at some point, I was okay. You know what I mean? And so I gotta, like, just bank on that. Like, you'll go through things, you'll go through tough times, but at some point in time, that situation's gonna turn around and you're gonna be okay. So,
Amen.
Indeed.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to continuing our discussion.
Yes.
We have, how many chapter is it?
So
I think
it's
it's 13.
13
Oh, 13,
chapters.
okay.
Oh, okay.
It's 13
13
things.
things.
That's right.
So
It makes a
Look-
lot of sense.
look at that.
7, 8, and 9.
Next
Okay.
week, and then we'll finish out
And
with
then we'll
4
finish
on the
10,
last.
11, 12, and 13.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Good
So,
deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, this actually, it's good information in the book. It is. And like we talked about last week, like hearing the personal stories, like
Yeah.
helps put things in perspective because then you can kind of tie it to, yeah, I mean, that's kind of like when I went through this or whatever. And
Man.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's definitely some good notes. And it does, one thing I will say it does is bring a lot of self-reflection.
For
sure.
Because it kind of takes on, we all have a habit of like looking outward for our problems. And that does because it makes you think about your own personal
Mhm.
situations. Like, damn, that was me.
Yeah.
Good or bad, whether you was on
Yeah.
the good or bad side of that particular story, but damn, that was me. It kind of it forces you to look at self in a way.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I feel like it forces you to take accountability for the stuff that you are able to. And again, we always have thanks. I feel like
This is so good. By the way.
It is good.
Oh yeah.
shout out to my homegirl who put us on.
I
Oh
didn't
my
even
goodness.
sip it. You sipped a little bit.
No, I'm sipping because it's so good. I'm trying to savor it. It's called savor.
But yeah, so
Frosted
it
cheese.
like it really forces you to just be responsible for yourself and for
Yeah.
your actions and
Yeah.
how you respond in
Mhm.
certain situations,
Yeah.
which it's hard to be fully in control of yourself like that
Yeah.
because you get caught up in like the emotional like aspects of things, so it just kind of forces you to take a back seat.
And I think one of the chapters does talk about that, about taking the emotions
Yeah,
out of it.
yeah.
Like, where
That's
you
gonna be a
said-
good chapter.
Yes.
That's I'm doing that now.
Definitely.
I
I think it's
personal
all.
side to that, but
Yeah.
I had to because the decisions that I'm making totally affects someone else's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's better for them may not be what I want, but
Yeah.
if it's better for them, like it's more selfish of me not to make the better decision for them
Yeah.
because of my emotions.
Right.
Exactly.
And the emotions that I'll feel, those will heal and I'll
Yeah.
find a way around them and
Yeah.
but it's better for them.
Yeah.
Right.
And so people keep asking me like, how are you gonna deal? I'm like, I gotta take my own emotions out of it. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's what's better for them.
Yeah.
And so my emotions gotta come second.
Yeah.
And
it
kudos
just has to.
Kudos to you for like realizing that
Yeah.
because
Listen,
that's hard.
it took a lot to because at first I was like,
No.
hell no.
It was
No.
a easy no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I get
But
it. I
thinking
completely
over
get
it,
it.
and then things started happening, I was like, oh shit. Like I don't, and because the other side of that is I don't want to make, and I don't think that I could have made a wrong decision. Like it would have been one that, it was just one was better than the other for right now.
Right.
Right.
But I didn't want to force them to be in a situation where it was, I would say, less better.
Yeah.
Because again, it wasn't a bad. It's like it would have been a bad situation.
Yeah.
But this one is better.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to put them in a situation where they didn't exceed as much as they could have because the situation was better.
Right.
So let's go with the best. And again, like I said before, if it doesn't work out, we can always take that
Always.
back.
Always
sure.
that. Yeah.
For
For
So-
sure.
Life throws all types of BS all the
Doesn't
time.
it?
Curveballs.
All the
and
time, man. You just gotta learn to.
lemons.
Yeah.
They're actually limes though. You're
Girl.
like, wait a minute.
I feel like I've been taking L's on the chin, like left and right though. Like I feel like dude that Wilder fought the other night that he knocked out in the first round. Cause I've been getting my ass knocked left and right. Just
I feel like I don't know what you're talking about with that. I feel like that was probably a really good like
Analogy.
sport. Yeah,
do
like
y'all know who Dante Wilder is?
no.
I don't
Oh,
follow
okay.
boxing as much.
We'll talk
No.
about him afterwards. So I'll fill y'all in
So-
and show you the fight. But
So speaking of boxing, before we wrap up today, a friend of mine went viral in Virginia. She is like, so she's kind of like you and me. She is like my college roommate's like best friend in her adult life, and they live
Okay.
in Virginia. So I met her last year at my friend's wedding. Super cool. But you guys may have seen the story. She is the mother who got arrested for macing a group of kids that were fighting her daughter.
I ain't mad at her at all.
Listen, so when it's all said and done, she ended up walking away with like 9 charges, or like
Woo!
somewhere between like
They
5 and
trumped up
9.
a whole bunch of BS.
So basically, they came together. Like these parents were like discussing like the issues at hand with these kids. One of the parents was trying to de-escalate the situation. Kudos to her. That's wonderful. The kids ultimately made their way around the other parent that was trying to de-escalate the situation, and they start fighting. That mother tries to like break them up, ends up falling over one of the kids. She gets hit in the midst of things. She finally gets up. There's like a ton of commotion. My friend's daughter is being jumped by like 3 other kids. At one point, her brother, I think, is seen trying to like jump in because there's so many people that are like on his sister. This is like my friend's like baby too. Like this is her youngest
And in the
kid.
story, it said one of the moms of the girls that was jumping her jumped in the fight.
So I think that was the first story that came out, but I think that they're talking about the mother who was trying to de-escalate things that fell over.
Gotcha.
I think that's what.
Okay, so nobody's mom jumped in the.
I don't believe so, because I was trying to figure out like one, why was this girl the only one that was arrested?
Yeah.
But there's a second and third video that kind of show like different angles and different like positions. So I think that that's the parent
The
or
fact
the
that
adult.
there are multiple cameras going on is a
Of
whole
course.
nother-
So
we
they-
are in 2019. Everything
Exactly.
is going to be recorded.
Exactly.
Just know that.
So
And
she
multiple.
sees all of this shit. There's multiple people on top of her
Right.
kid. So she maces them. I feel like she had every right
That
to
was
do
the
so.
safe way because
Yeah.
Because
I don't carry mace and I would have got to throwing hands. Get off bricks. I want to share.
Khaleesi might.
I want to share a story about my mom. I told you about my mom. I'm not gonna share it. Never mind. Go ahead because it's no. Go ahead.
listen, I feel like me and your mom will be on the same page. Granted,
My
I don't
mom-
have kids yet.
Right now at 35, if she saw me in that situation, would have been in there fighting.
My
with
mom
me
would have
and telling him, "Get off my
my
baby."
baby.
Yeah.
And my mom, who
I-
is well over her 60s, would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
And if
they're lucky that she. What I'm saying is, she went about
She
the right
went
way
the
of
safe-
macing them.
Yes.
Because I would have been in there throwing hands
Or-
on kids.
or moving a vehicle through the
That's
crowd,
what I'm saying.
plowing some shit through
Khaleesi might
something.
have had to jump in.
I don't know if I would have did that. I would.
I mean, I'm not saying like
physically remove it. I ain't gonna say I would have threw punches, but if I got punched, I'm punching back.
Yeah. That's called
I don't know who you are at this moment.
Look,
I don't know that you're a
that's
child.
self-defense.
I don't know what's going on. All I know is I'm fighting
Yeah.
my way out for me and my child to get to safety.
you take care of yours. And I feel like her macing them was the most
Kind way.
kind, responsible, mature way.
Because what would have happened had the cops get there? Would they mace?
Everybody.
They maced in the club.
Yeah. Before, if a fight looks like it's about
Yes.
to break out, they mace.
Yeah. So
Or
why
excuse
would-
me, or they tase people. Which
Or tase. Yeah.
I don't know if that's better.
It's not, once they're the same. to me.
So
I don't know because tase can have a whole other effect on
Yeah.
people. So.
So she was the only adult that was arrested. She is looking at multiple like assault charges
Yeah.
against these minors. And I'm just like, one, in the eye of like the public, sis did nothing wrong.
Street justice. That's
Oh.
what you get.
I just
Especially because we
3
came together.
counts of malicious
Malicious assault. That's what I
by
was gonna say.
acid, explosive / fire, 2 counts of assault, and 3 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. How?
So the delinquency of the minor, I think, is again because in this new video that surfaced, the other mother is trying to like disperse everything. Like she's really trying to prevent it from moving forward. But that mother, she has 2 of the kids that ultimately went around her, helped her tumble over, and were jumping the other girls. So she got 2 kids in this that, as far as I'm concerned, are hooligans. Okay,
Yeah.
like.
So where's
Cause
her
y'all,
charges for
cause
not?
they did all this shit in front of their mom, and I don't care what's going on. If my mom is yelling at me and telling me that I need to take my ass back in the
I'm
house,
going back to the
I'm
house.
going back in the house.
Well, I may not go back to the house, but I'm gonna shut up.
I'm gonna shut up, and I'm not about to go around my mom to go start some shit.
Yeah.
Because if I go around my mom, I already know that my mom is
When I
going
get
around.
home.
And it's not even when I get home. My mom's going all up and through me.
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's just proof that like these kids these days have a lack of respect for like their elders and more specifically their parents.
Yeah.
Like, cause there's no way that I would have like deboed my mom in order to go do what the hell it is that I wanted to do.
This is
Like,
crazy.
it's just not gonna happen. It's insane. It's insane.
I can't believe that she even got arrested, one. And that there are multiple
I'm
charges.
hoping that this is all going to be dropped.
I don't
It
know.
needs to
So
be.
Virginia's crazy. Virginia's the
That's true.
Commonwealth.
That is true.
So I was actually in legal trouble when I was in Virginia, and it escalated. Thankfully,
And you're just similar thing trying to defend someone who was actually being attacked.
one of our friends was in like a domestic violence like situation, and there was a kid involved, and like he swung on her. I like tried to like split it up. He hit me. Like it was like a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
But I ended up like facing charges. And
Yeah.
the only reason that the shit got dropped was because he didn't show up to court. Why didn't he show up to court? Because he was already locked up for attempted murder. I was like, you know what? Look at God. God protects babies and fools. The fool was me, but I learned my lesson.
She was like, I don't get involved in that
I don't
shit
get
no
involved
more.
in
Right.
shit. Like,
Right.
if you need assistance,
Right.
the best you're going to get out of me is a phone call to the police.
Mhm.
Okay? Like, if it's somebody that's real close, I probably am going to go ahead and jump in.
I was about to say, because we've been in situations where you like, what's up?
The
What's
New
up?
Orleans situation.
Yeah, New Orleans, she was ready. Like,
If it's somebody that's real close, I'm probably still going to go ahead and jump in. But this was on some old, so my friend who's best friends with this girl, her sister was best friends with the girl who I like tried to step into the relationship. So like I'm not,
same circle.
so
That's
I'm
crazy.
like not invested in
That's
any of this shit.
Yeah.
Like y'all only asked me to come because we needed multiple cars in order to be able to move this shit out of one house to the next place.
And I end up.
And all y'all some punks, y'all saw this bitch getting tossed out the house and damn near hung out a window, and all of y'all just like crumbled. I'm
I
like,
wouldn't have been able to sit back and watch that neither.
Yeah,
I would have had to step in too.
We
Like,
were-
you are tripping.
Right.
we were legit like on the 3rd floor of an apartment building. He was hanging her out the window.
Yeah,
Dog,
yeah.
like you can't do this. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like you can't do it. So I tried to step in like this Samaritan, like, bruh, chill. Like, you not about to fling her out the 3rd story of
Right.
this
Right.
building.
Not in front of me.
Homeboy turns around, punches me in the stomach. Of course I'm gonna hit back. Like, you
Yes. Again, once you hit me,
Yeah.
I no longer know what the situation is. All I know is I'm being attacked and I need to defend myself.
Right.
It was awful. So like, I say all of this to say Virginia's crazy because
Yes.
the
I've definitely heard.
the way that the laws are in Virginia with it being a commonwealth, like it's not your traditional set of laws, and there's all these caveats and all this.
Yeah.
But if this, then that, and the way that they trumped up all of these charges from this one event, I'm just like, this doesn't quite add up.
She's
but
not gonna walk away scot free.
I don't think she is. And
Which
like
is crazy.
and there's, like,
insane.
other extenuating circumstances, just like with her background too, to where I just hope that like this doesn't impact like her job.
Yes.
I hope it doesn't impact like her kids any further than it already
Yeah.
has. Because when you think about it, like I said, this is her baby. So like she has like older kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people are cruel. The shit went viral.
Yeah.
Like I literally 2 days ago woke up and was scrolling Facebook, and the picture that they have on her mugshot is very similar to a picture that I have on Instagram. Like her hair is done the same
Oh,
and
shit.
everything. And I was like, it was the guy from Columbus who posted. I'm like, well, how does he know her?
Right.
Like, because she doesn't even live here.
Yeah.
And then I read the story and I'm like, holy shit. Like,
Everything can go
Wow.
viral. now.
It, like, it was insane. It was insane. So, like, I literally woke up one morning and I was just like, oh my God. When did this happen? Yesterday. Good God.
I ain't mad at her none because I would have did the same thing. And any parent saying that they would have found another
Right.
way, you are lying.
What
In
other
the
way?
moment,
What other way?
The other way, she did try to go another
Yeah,
way. She
next.
met up with the other adult, trying to figure out the issue between these kids to dead it. So that means the issue between the kids have been going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The adults are talking, and the kids get rowdy and attack my child.
Multiple kids. 3 kids.
So
on
where
one.
are the charges on these children?
That's what I'm saying. Can she
That's
press charges on
I would
them?
imagine so. I would
I'm sure she will.
I don't know what where that's going at this
Yeah.
point, but I definitely
tuned.
I
would like
definitely
to-
would.
I'll
would like
definitely
to
watch-
send you
yeah.
notifications.
And we can
I
give
want to know
updates.
about this. Yeah, I would like. Yes,
give
follow
updates.
this story.
Mm.
I'm gonna put my email address.
But like
in.
you said, that was the nicest
Follow
way she
this.
could have handled
It
that.
really
'cause
was.
I don't carry mace. And
I
I don't
don't
even know if
either.
it would have crossed my mind to pick. If I had mace on me, I don't know if it would have crossed my mind to pick up mace. My immediate reaction, I already
Jump
know,
in.
would have been
Jump in.
get them off my baby.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
I can't.
That's crazy. I can't even believe that I can't believe she was arrested. That there's charges. Like,
That's
so
crazy.
is mace illegal? Like, can you not? Because I have some.
No, it's not illegal, but it is a weapon. So they're basically saying that she assaulted. She used the weapon against minors. Like
Aren't your
malicious.
fists a weapon too, though?
Malicious assault.
they are.
Aren't your fists a weapon?
They absolutely are.
Yes.
Listen, Assist was not upset. Her mugshot.
Her
smirk.
mugshot. Yes.
Yeah.
She's like.
Because she
okay.
know, like, and I would do it again. That's probably what she
Absolutely.
told him. And I would do it again.
Absolutely.
Like, you glad I didn't do worse.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Because again, the fact that her mind was even able to process.
I'm gonna need the
Rad
other mother
face.
to step up and drop the charges.
She ain't
So
going
the other mother is so Wavy Channel 10, if you are looking for like local interviews, the other mother had an interview on there where basically she's like dogging Keisha. Like she's like, there's no way that I ever would have done this. There's no way that as a mother that I would ever think
Your
about harming
kids
somebody
started
else's
you ragged.
kid. Yeah, some of that part.
But your kids are out here jumping on them.
Both of them.
Multiple
this was
kids
both of
jumping
you.
on. Yeah.
Both of them.
Teach your kids to get it one-on-one. That's what you need to do.
Woosah.
Your kids are punks.
Woosah.
Oh, I'm mad like it was my child. Your
Woosah.
little punk ass kids. And I hate to talk about kids like that, but your kids is punks.
Sometimes they are punk ass kids.
Mm.
I mean, just sometimes it is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I will keep you guys posted as the story continues to develop.
Yes. Yeah, 'cause I'm completely invested at this point.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, there's a story that So my phone wakes me up some mornings and it says good morning and it tells me everything Trump's doing, and then sometimes this occasionally gives me some other news. Well, it was a couple days ago. News was Powell, Ohio, and I was like, oh, it's where I live. Well, I don't live in Powell, but
I was
Yeah.
going to say, you don't live no damn
It's
house.
up the street.
it's up the street. I ain't driving there. Khaleesi and I ain't driving there, but it's up the street. It's close enough. It's close enough that I can go away.
Yeah, it's Columbus.
So did you guys hear the story
No.
about the middle schoolers who were in a cooking contest and had to cook international foods for their teachers, and the teachers were the judges,
Oh, shit. I'm scared to know what somebody could.
and there was reportedly urine and semen in the crepes.
Come on. You nasty little fuckers.
Nasty little fuckers. So, sometimes kids are horrible little fuckers.
How does
So,
this even come to
Well,
light?
you said pal, so.
what do you think? They recorded it.
They recorded themselves doing it?
Yes.
That's the only way. I'm over here like, how did this even come to light? Like, how,
Southern nasty little fuckers were stupid too.
They're middle schoolers.
look here, do not play with my food. Like, we was just talking about people getting mace. One way for you to skip the mace and catch this deadly ass whooping is to fuck with my food, okay?
She said deadly ass whooping.
Like,
Yeah.
do not fuck with my food.
Ew.
Yeah.
Semen and piss
Yes.
Yes.
in the crepes.
In the crepes.
In the crepes.
And I like crepes.
I do like crepes. How you gonna disrespect?
I didn't like crepes.
But how
Doesn't
did they get the
taco
crepes
sauce?
to turn out right if they pissed and nutted in it?
They probably didn't turn out right. And that's another reason why they're like,
What the
eh.
fuck is this?
But someone alerted the principal and they saw the videos and yeah.
I
Yes,
have
I-
fucked them kids up.
Man.
Look here, if I was one of them teachers, I would have got on the phone with one of my little nieces or nephews or somebody.
I got an address for you.
You rally up the troops. Remember when I said jumping people is a
Wasn't
punk
right.
ass shit?
This is an exception to the rule.
Remember 10 minutes ago when I said don't jump people? Get your
Remember I said the kids was punk asses? This is one exception.
About that.
Ass.
About that.
Yes.
Squad up, punk ass.
Squad
Unite.
I got an address, $20 to
Yes.
butt rounds.
Yes.
Shit, for the fun round, I jumped in on board, bro. Shit. You can get me to do anything damn near
Depending
for a
on how
fun
well you
round.
take care of this, might have some Tahitian treat afterwards.
Hey.
I got you. Come back to the
Wait a minute.
Come back to the house.
It's some Takis.
Girl.
Takis. I hate
The
them.
Takis. Kids love
They
that.
love them.
I've never had them. I've never
'Cause
had
it's
them.
not for you.
Yeah.
It's not for you.
It's not edible.
It's for the kids.
I mean, they made it edible, but you
They
ain't
look like
supposed to eat it.
Doritos. What? I mean, I don't even know what type.
It's not for you.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But
But
nah.
yeah.
Ugh.
So that was
Disgusting.
my weird news of the day.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
When I was like, wait, I'm sorry. You said I had to wake up. You know I don't wake up.
Did y'all hear about the little boy, the little 13-year-old that got shot over on Shady Lane?
I saw it on my Instagram.
He was
but
shot
I
by
didn't-
another
Yeah,
13-year-old.
14.
I passed this memorial today.
Oh,
How did they find the boy?
Wait a minute, that's
that
about my
shot
kids.
him? Yes, it's
My
right there by the
father's
school.
house.
Yeah. I was
Robert-
over on Country Club
Robert goes
earlier
to that
today.
school. My
Really?
son goes to that school. He knew the boy.
So my
Yeah.
my godsons were the ones that like told me like where like the house was, pointed out like the stuff that was like in the yard.
Yeah, and there was another
Heartbreaking.
little girl with him that got shot. She didn't die, but she got shot. There was 2 kids that got shot. It was a girl and a boy. The boy died. The girl didn't. And they were shot by a kid
A
their
kid.
age. And they were talking about they haven't got the suspect. Where is he? He had to go home.
Apparently,
And there's
he's, like,
always
out
some shit going
the,
on
like
around.
out of town. Like he like fled, from my understanding.
How?
At
Which
least
means the parents
Yeah.
are involved.
from
Because a 14-year-old can't just
Then
live.
they need to be arrested too until we can find him.
from what my
Absolutely.
godsons
Especially because if
were
you
trying to
didn't
tell me.
report him missing until now, and you talking about he's out of town, then you knew.
You knew. You knew.
When they said the shooter, I thought it was like some random, some
like drive
dumb,
by.
yeah, like they just got caught in the middle of some stuff. They said no, he was shot by another kid. Who was driving his ass around? And where the hell did he go?
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
I don't know if I could be that
did-
parent.
did
As
he
much
get
as I would
any
want to
details on,
protect
what
my
this was
child,
about?
I have no idea.
No,
So
Because
that-
I
said
did just
anything.
see this on Instagram.
it's got to be over something stupid.
Of course it's over
They're
something
kids. They're
stupid.
13 and 14. But as much as I would want to protect my child in that moment, I could not. You have to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
And
Like,
this was another
couldn't-
baby.
This is something, you just ended someone's life.
You've ruined
Multiple
all these-
people's
all-
lives.
Yes. This little girl.
Including mine.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because I'm going to stand
Now
by
I'm going to stand by you, but I
But-
gotta let you.
but wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong.
Yep.
I'll make sure you have all you need in your juvenile detention center
Yes.
But you
I'll
gotta
put money
go.
on your books.
every week. Come visit you. It's a sad situation
This is
all
sad.
around. Like there's nothing. I read when cause my Shauna came to work and told me, I was just like in disbelief. Like what?
Yeah.
Like that's what our kids are doing now?
That's what Deanna was talking about yesterday.
Yeah, we were just talking about like back in the day, like going outside was a thing for us. I told you,
Yeah.
as soon as we used to be up before my mom, we knew we couldn't go outside until she got up. So we'd be like dressed, chores done, ready.
Ready.
So as soon as she got up, we was like, we out. Come back in to get a swig of water and go right back out. Come back in before
Oh, my
she was like,
kids were
we were
like
out
outside.
all day. But I'm like, nowadays we complain like kids just need to go outside and play. But I'm like, it ain't even safe
It's
anymore.
not safe. no.
Between other kids just doing random dumb shit like that,
People getting abducted.
people getting abducted.
Sexual predator.
Yeah.
Then you got your
Sex
neighbors
trafficking.
next door abducted in plain sight.
Yeah.
That whole shit is another whole nother
I was like, damn, do you really want your kids to go outside?
No, I do not want my kids to go.
You
outside.
gotta go outside and play with your own kids now.
Yeah.
Like they can't go outside and play with, and then the drugs that
Yeah.
other kids can introduce. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then it don't even have to be drugs. You go, I'm just gonna sniff this glue.
Yeah.
This
For
glue.
real.
Go ahead.
What
You
was
got
it? It was-
aerosol? You got
Yeah.
you got spray paint? Let's go
Yes.
get high.
Yeah, it was something. Somebody was telling me recently this new challenge that kids was doing where
Oh
they
my
was sniffing
God.
something to make themselves pass out. Like, are y'all stupid?
To pass out.
To pass out. You sniff it to pass out.
When we was kids, the most we was doing was flipping our eyelids inside out.
Ew.
Like
Yeah, no,
I
That's-
was never able to do it.
that's about the extent of the craziness. If you was able to do that, like boom, bam. you
I
was
heard
in
of kids like sniffing gasoline when we were younger. I've never seen anybody do it, and never heard of like horror stories. But I heard that was like a thing back then. But again, never seen it actually happen.
No.
So I don't know if somebody just randomly said that dumb shit.
Right.
nobody that I know was sniffing gasoline. I'm trying to tell you, the most that we was doing was flipping our eyelids
And
inside
wiggling their
out.
ears. I still can't.
I don't even think I don't know anything that people were doing
Mm.
other than they were. I remember boys would like try to break pencils.
Oh yeah, with
Everybody
the
did
flip,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah, that was fun.
Oh, and football.
yeah.
Oh,
football,
yeah,
triangle.
yeah.
That's what my people. That's what we did.
It was just a different era. Cause like I think
Totally
back even
different.
like with
They
the drug
take
dealers
Tide
and stuff that were
Pods.
like in our neighborhoods, like there was just a mutual respect that like you don't fuck with the elderly, you don't fuck with kids. You know, like no matter what was going on, it could be the hardest of all dudes, and he would still like talk to a older woman and be like, "Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am."
Yes.
They would make sure that the kids was like wasn't getting into stuff.
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's no
No
code.
rules.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
there's just they just out here, and unfortunately, I think that there's a lot of crack babies in this era that have grown up, and they are the ones that are kind of running things. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was. I mean, it was bound to catch up with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mm.
Protect your babies, man.
absolutely,
Hide your wives. Hide your husbands.
Man.
Mm-mm.
Hide everybody.
Girl. I just think back to when one of my neighbors like tried to kick Lily, and this was a long time
Look,
ago.
both of us was like,
This was a long time ago.
what? She's breathing?
She claimed she was scared of dogs.
Of Lily.
Scared of Lily.
Lily is like the size of this book.
And
And was
Fluffy and
first
Right.
of all, was Lily seeing at this time?
No, she was. I mean, she was fully able to see. She was
Okay.
not blind. This was a
Lily
long time
has
ago.
never been scary.
Ever.
Her bark isn't even scary.
No. No.
She claimed she was afraid of dogs.
She barks and twirls. Like who's
She
who's
does.
afraid
she
of
really does.
a dog that barks and twirls? I'm thinking like you excited to see me. I'm not scared. Like, oh yes,
Yes,
she get me into a mood when I see her. She gets twirling. I'm like twirl, twirl.
She
Twirl.
does this every single
Twirl.
time.
That's our song.
I love it.
But no, so the lady, like, she claimed she was afraid of dogs. She went to, like, swat her foot at Lily. And the way I responded, as you guys can imagine,
Yes.
I went off. It was a big ordeal. Now that I think about it, my apartment got broken into shortly thereafter, and I'm really curious. So, like, now that I'm saying this out loud, so my apartment got broken into maybe, like, a month or so after that.
Wow.
And she told the police that she didn't see anything. But the way that they broke into my apartment, they literally kicked the door in, and they were in there for a while because they took everything and plugged into the wall. She probably was like, "Gotcha, bitch." Like, not that she broke in.
Yeah, but,
but-
set it up.
Like, not even that. Just like, I saw who did it, but I ain't telling you.
Oh.
But anyway, I went off on her. Like, and I just think about how I would respond with some babies involved.
Yeah.
So when you say protect your babies, like absolutely, wholeheartedly,
Listen, I'll take
Protect
whatever.
them.
I'll take whatever comes with protecting mine
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
from trouble to death.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. Because there would be no second. I already know. It would be no second guessing. Like it would be no second guessing. If they're in trouble,
Yeah.
there's a reaction from me.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you ever want a reaction from me?
Yep. Mess with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try.
You will get a reaction every time,
Whew.
and no one's excluded, family included.
Touche. It is what it is.
It's just a natural reaction as a mother. Like you automatically go into that. Like it's,
Yes.
I don't think about a plan. I just react.
Right.
You might hear whatever, and I may do whatever.
Like,
Just we can talk about it later, but right now, yeah,
we'll ask questions later.
yeah, yes. Act now. Ask questions later. And those that yes,
Yes.
yeah.
In that order.
Oh, speaking of ask questions, what's our question? It came through earlier.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, don't need to look it up. I already know what it is because I've been thinking about it. The question was, how did we start this project and what our favorite moment was? Yes, moment. Wasn't our favorite podcast. It was our favorite moment that we've had while doing this podcast.
Okay. Huh.
So, how we got started is
That's a good one.
there was a group of us ladies that got together on a pretty consistent basis for ladies' night, and we would sit around, eat, drink, and talk shit, and it was always hilarious.
Mhm.
Always, like every time. And one particular night, I was like, we were all here, and I think it was the last four of us that started. We were the last ones left at this particular night, and I was like, you know what? This is what those reality shows should be about. Like when they talk about reality TV, so like the Housewives and stuff like that. Like this is the type of reality TV that people should see because
Right.
the shit is genuine and it's hilarious. And like
Right.
the fact that we all have a genuine friendship just makes it even better. So that was the start of it. And then I later thought about doing a podcast. So I asked these two, and there's a original, our friend Z, who originally was on, but you know, life changes up and she had to step away from the podcast. But that's how it got started. It was really just supposed to be like a ladies' night type thing where we get together and like we're not even paying attention to the cameras. We're kind of just having our ladies' night and recording it as is. Like, but trying to do it in podcast format, that just didn't work for it being that natural. It definitely have to be a show type. So we went with the podcast. And it started out being like a ladies' night talk where we talk about any and everything in its rawest form. But again, for podcast format, that doesn't always work. So then we had to do some revamping over the first year, and that's how we got to where we are now, where we're kind of still having that same vibe, but we're also including our books that we're reading at the time and doing the book review while also talking about other topics and just giving our raw opinions about the books that we're reading and different topics of what's happening in the world today. So that's how it came about. So while the idea may have originated with me, and really I don't even take credit for that because if it hadn't been for the ladies' nights that we were having, that idea would have never even came. But then this whole podcast thing definitely came from like the original four of us and definitely with these two over the past year of it developing into what it is now. So that's how we got started.
So what was the second part? What was the second part to that question?
What was our favorite moment in doing this podcast? What has been our favorite moment in doing this podcast?
That's a tough one.
I know mine.
Well, go ahead.
The podcast where we talked about whoopings that we got as children. And it might have been our second or third recording. It was very, very early on. There is no YouTube recording of that, thank God. Because some of the acting outs that we did. I'm glad there's not video, but it is, I can't even think of what the title was, but it's early on. It's like the second.
It has to be like
Yeah.
the second episode. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's the second episode.
Yeah. But that one was hilarious. We were all in tears.
You
that
were
recording.
serious.
That was good.
No, because the funniest part was your 12 years late.
I still have flashbacks.
Yeah. So it wasn't me and Z, that was your story.
No, y'all were the ones that was acting stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you two are fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite and probably the funniest moment of this podcast thus far.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
That
so many.
was
I mean, I feel like we have funny moments like every recording, but
That's
that
so
one,
funny.
like I'll never forget that because it was hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
everyone was in tears.
Yeah.
So
I think one of my favorite episodes was actually when we had Candace on and she did the card reading. Like Candace is one of like my best friends, and I know that she has like this gift with these cards, and it's so funny because I always kind of looked at them as kind of being like, oh no, I'm not gonna fool with that old Ichi Gichi mess. Like no. But then she started like reading cards, and I realized like it's not like this witchcraft that
It's
I like
not.
thought that it was.
and people really think that it's some type of voodoo stuff, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like voodoo to me is like you're altering
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah. Like,
This is not that.
I definitely thought that it was like witchcraft, and like once she did it the first time, I was like, oh, okay, all
And
right.
she told the truth, so then you'd be like, how do you know that?
Yeah, she called me out about messing with this dude, and she was like, "Are you still talking to him? Because you know A, B, and C." And I was like,
Maybe.
"Get out of my business." But no, that episode, like, it stuck with me. Like, she hit on some like key stuff with like everybody. And it was crazy because she didn't really know what was going on really in any of our lives, but especially not like you two.
Yeah.
And she was just like hitting on stuff like left and right and boom and bam. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, they didn't get to see it because we only recorded Keisha's.
Oh,
time
that's
with
right.
her.
That's right.
But it got real afterwards, which
yeah.
that didn't need to be recorded. The back end of that night after we cut the cameras off and stuff. I'm glad it wasn't recorded because those moments didn't need to be recorded. It was very personal on both ends, and it didn't need to be seen. That was an in-house thing that should have happened. So I'm glad we actually made the decision not to record that.
But yeah, I think that was probably one of my like favorite like guest like episodes, like for sure.
What about you?
I was thinking about my sister being here.
That was a good one. That was hilarious.
About that?
That was.
I still say Splosh. I still to this day say
My
Splosh.
sister is if anything,
A riot.
Here for a good time. Okay.
Always, like any moment, any and every moment.
Yeah, there is video of that, right? We have video.
Yes.
There's
That was
video.
when we first started doing the video recording.
Yeah.
So my sister is in the video, and my sister is hilarious.
We can get her back on here.
If you watch that, you will now say Splosh, and you will know where Splosh came from.
Yes.
We're not gonna tell you. You have to go back and watch it. But that was probably one of my favorites. And then when Josh was here and he was talking about his tweets to like Trump,
the Josh episode was hilarious.
That I'm like, you really are tweeting the president.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he was. He was serious.
He was trolling his ass.
Trolling.
Dead ass serious.
Him and Pence, like both of them, and I'm like,
oh, Josh,
how are you not?
But I was calling hoes and stuff.
Yeah. Hey sis, hey. Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey.
If you missed that episode, it's titled "Hey Girl, Hey."
It's called Hey Girl, Hey.
You call Donnie, hey.
And call him Donnie.
Donnie.
Hey girl, Donnie. Hey girl, hey.
And Mike.
Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah.
And Mikey.
And Mikey. Yeah.
Oh my God, my cheeks hurt.
Those probably two. But then, and then my new favorite moment is the change that we're doing. Like I am loving. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get here, and I am loving everything we're doing. So.
Because before, I mean, while it was entertaining, there really was no direction, and then you know, it's kind of like it's a whirlwind every time we got to come up with a plan of what we're going to talk about, and where this is, it's better. It's better coming in, talking about the books, and we get to accomplish another part of life, which is all of us increasing our reading.
Yes.
Yeah, so it forces us to stay on top of that and everything. So yeah, I definitely think the change was great. And that idea was actually born on the show here. Like that idea actually happened in the recording, like in the moment. That was not planned. We were recording. Was like we should, and then got off and it was like boom, doing it. So
good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Should we introduce about the Normal Women's Forum?
Sure.
Okay. So coming up, we are actually putting plans together now to do like a women's forum. So in an upcoming recording, we will have a room full of women talking about just all things Black women, middle age. Are we middle aged?
We are.
I am young, middle aged.
I'm over the hill.
In there, you are not over the hill.
Next year I will officially be over the hill.
You
Is
are
that
not
over the hill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we are middle aged. I hate to listen. When you go to fill out like forms, it'd be like 18 to 25, 25 to like 30 or 32. We are now in that third group.
I know.
Yeah. And I'm about to be checking the next box.
We are now in that.
Okay with
I was like, they are disrespectful.
And if they send me an AARP magazine, fuck all.
They sent you one?
No. I said,
I was like, God damn, it's early. You still have some years.
Oh,
It better,
that's
better.
rude. That's rude.
But we will be doing a women's forum, and we're just gonna talk about all things Black women.
So stay tuned.
So
Yeah.
please send your questions, and if you're in the Columbus area and want to come,
Yeah, we're still open for guests. We do need to get back on that. It's kind of hard to do it now with the book. I mean, I guess we could like bring them in for the second half of the show. They just wouldn't be on the first part, but we'll work it out. So if you are still wanting to come and join us for these discussions, all are welcome.
yeah.
You don't have to be just Black either. Like
Exactly.
we
Josh
touch
wasn't
all-
Black.
I know. So I feel like people
See,
think
Josh?
that like, oh, 3 Black women, they're talking about Black stuff. I don't want to be coming on there. Like, we don't talk about just Black stuff. We talk about all stuff. So
Exactly.
nothing wrong with a healthy debate either. So
Absolutely.
we come with something opposing us. We're not afraid of that either. So
There you go.
all right. All right. So we are on YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes. Jeez. So you can find us on any of those platforms. Always, you can hit us up in our inboxes. Email, we can be found at nakboffscript@gmail.com.
Oh, I like that.
Hey,
Hey.
hey.
Hey, what your mama say? Hey,
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 hey.
hey.
She said chicken head. Keisha's trying to take it all.
I'm over the hill, remember?
Oh
Yes.
my god.
But hit us up on any of those platforms. Like, share, subscribe on all platforms.
Please
also,
and thank you.
yes, we need the support. Love the support. Keep showing up, hanging out with us. Until next time,
I holla.
Peace.